When we were replacing the bed at home, I found a pile of used condoms under the bed. The worker master had a mischievous smile on his face. Bro, I didn't expect you to be so capable. But my face turned extremely ugly. Although I have been with my girlfriend for 3 years, I have never touched her. She pretends to be innocent in front of me, but is so unrestrained in front of others, right? The large bags of condoms filled with white liquid were casually thrown on the ground, in a complete mess. In this situation, I can hardly imagine how dissolute this woman, who usually doesn't even dare to speak loudly, is behind my back. Unexpectedly, I actually witnessed the so-called contrast bitch, a popular internet term, with my own eyes, and I have been infatuated with her for 3 years. Obviously, my infatuation over the past 3 years has been completely in vain. I haven't even achieved the low-level request of just getting close without going all the way. The bicycle that I was reluctant to ride, others stand up and pedal it. Victoria, you really have opened my eyes. I stopped the worker master who was moving the bed. I don't want to change this bed anymore. Let's just change the mattress first. The worker master smiled. Okay, then go get a broom. I'll help you clean up before putting it back. No need to sweep. Just leave it for now. The worker master was stunned for a moment, then nodded with a mischievous smile. After the master left, I immediately took out the voice recorder from the cabinet. This voice recorder is a defective product. It often turns on and off automatically, so I just left it here. I hope it can play its role this time. As I held this voice recorder, my hand actually started to shake. After turning it on, there was first a short recording of me chatting with Victoria at home. After a few intermittent silences, a strange man's voice appeared. Victoria, I've missed you so much. Come on, don't be so hasty. Go take a shower first. How can I not be hasty? When will your husband be back? Don't ruin our good time. He's on the night shift today and won't be back. You can do whatever you want to me. Ouch, you little vixen. After a few explicit words, what came next was the man's vigorous thrusting and Victoria's lewd words. My knuckles creaked as I clenched my fists. After a while, Victoria's voice came out again. Julian, I have something I want to discuss with you. Julian. My pupils suddenly dilated. Julian is Victoria's first love boyfriend. When Victoria was dating me, she had repeatedly said that she had no emotional entanglements. I'm afraid I've been wearing this green hat for 3 years. My teeth clenched tightly together. I calmed down my emotions and continued listening. What's the matter, baby? Go ahead and say it. Lucas has been talking to me about getting married recently, but I want to have my first child with you. Really? Yes. In a few days, it will be my ovulation period. After we're done, I'll let him have his way once. I'll secretly give him male contraceptives in advance. Damn, that's a brilliant idea. When our child is born, we'll make him raise it. If he doesn't, we'll get a divorce and take half of his property. That's what I think too, Julian. I've sacrificed so much for you. You can't let me down. Hee hee, amazing. I always wondered how a seemingly innocent woman could be so vicious. How on earth did she hide it so well? She's completely a different person in public and in private. Not only did she throw the condoms under the bed and insult me secretly, she's even planning to have a child and make me, the sucker, raise it for you too? Victoria, Julian. I will make you regret what you've done. At around 7 o'clock in the evening, Victoria came back. Her original off-work time was 5:30. She must have been out fooling around during this time. Honey, is the dinner ready? Her voice was even hoarse. Although I really want to slap her to death when I see her face now, I think that would be too good for her. I'm going to dig a trap and wait for her to fall into it step by step, torture her slowly, and make her lose her reputation. It's already ready, my little princess. Hey, what's wrong with your throat? Victoria's eyes dodged a little, and she smiled at me. Oh, I got a bit of a gust of wind on the way. Maybe it's because of the wind. I walked over and took her backpack, and said self-reproachfully. It's all my fault. Look, you've been working for so long and you don't even have a car for transportation. I've taken a fancy to a BMW Mini. How about I take you for a test drive another day? Really? You're so kind, honey. Victoria hugged my neck and jumped up and down happily. Okay, we're about to get married soon. What's wrong with buying you a car? I'm even planning to buy you a house. Honey, buying a car and a house, are we financially comfortable? Victoria looked at me with wide eyes, full of longing and expectation. I smiled and touched her nose. Don't worry. Now there's even an option of 0 down payment. With my thriving career now, Paying off the debts is a piece of cake. Baby, to make you feel secure, I'm going to put the name of the car and the house all in your name." Victoria pursed her lips, and her eyes turned red. This woman is really good at acting. "Honey, you're so good to me. Tonight I want to." Victoria's face turned red all the way to her neck. Her eyes drooped slightly, and she looked as shy as a flower. At that moment, I shuddered all over, not because of temptation, but because of disgust. I smiled and comforted her. "No, it's not suitable tonight. I remember you once said that the most important thing should be saved for the wedding night. I'm still looking forward to the day when the bed sheet is stained with your virgin blood." Victoria suddenly panicked a bit, but still nodded shyly. Then she ran to the bedroom to change clothes. But as soon as she went in, she quickly came out. "Honey, did you change the bed?" "No, I just changed the mattress and the bed sheet." "Then, did you clean under the bed too?" I slapped my forehead. "I forgot." "It's okay. You go take a shower first, and I'll clean it up right away." The tense look on Victoria's face instantly relaxed. She smiled sweetly and said that I must be very tired after a day's work. She firmly pushed me into the bathroom, telling me to take a good shower and relax. I smiled and didn't say anything, giving her the opportunity to clean up the evidence. Early the next morning, both of us took a day off to look at cars and houses. We originally planned to buy a BMW Mini, but when I saw the BMW 5 Series, I immediately said to Victoria, "This one is more prestigious. Isn't it a bit too expensive? I'll pay the loan. What are you afraid of? And honey, let me tell you, in 2 months, I'll be promoted to general manager. By then, with an annual salary of 1 million, won't I be worthy of a BMW 5 Series? Really? You're so amazing, honey. Then let's buy this one. Honey, will you really put it in my name? Aren't you afraid that I'll embezzle it in the future?" Hee hee. Victoria made a joke with me. I looked at her affectionately. "I love you, so I want to give you all the best things. Of course, it will be in your name. Miss, this is the car we want." "Okay, sir. Please come over here to make the payment." I went to the front desk with the car saleswoman and decisively bought the car with 0 down payment, with the owner being Victoria. At that moment, the looks in the eyes of those accountants towards me changed instantly. They even secretly glanced at Victoria, who was still admiring the luxury car. I ignored them and took her, got in the big BMW, and went to the most luxurious real estate development in the city. Baby, from here, you can overlook the most beautiful scenery in the whole city. Have you ever imagined sipping coffee gracefully in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows, that refreshing feeling? Victoria nodded excitedly. "Honey, I want it. I want this place." "Okay, it's yours." I held Victoria's hand and visited several model apartments. Finally, we took a fancy to a 155 square meter house. The full price of the house is 5,650,000 yuan. And now, with the real estate market in a slump, you can get it with an extremely low down payment. To give Victoria the most expensive one, I paid 30,000 yuan out of my own pocket. It was like working for a month for nothing. Victoria was so excited that she almost jumped up to the ceiling. Especially when she saw that the owner's name was written as hers, she directly hugged me and kissed me. It was the laughter of the real estate saleswomen that interrupted her unrestrained behavior. After getting the key that belonged to us, oh no, it should be the key that belonged to her alone, Victoria couldn't wait to take me to visit the new house. It was a beautifully decorated house on a high floor with a wide view, very luxurious. Victoria was so excited that she lost all sense of propriety. She immediately made a video call to her parents to show off our newly bought house. Her parents smiled happily. After asking about the square footage, they immediately said they wanted to move in and live with us. Victoria looked at me a little embarrassedly. I smiled and nodded. "It's only natural to bring your parents over, isn't it?" Victoria was so happy that she danced with joy. Her parents also praised me a lot on the phone. They praised me for being capable and said they hadn't misjudged me in the first place. From a distance, I could see that on the video call screen, her parents were talking and seemed to be packing their things at the same time. Goodness, were they planning to move in overnight? Even Victoria's eldest brother, William, was shouting on the phone. "Brother-in-law, save the bedroom facing the sun for me. Remember that. We'll be there soon." Victoria's eldest brother, William, was already 31 years old. Not only hadn't he managed to find a wife, but I was the one who found him a job. However, he was so inconsistent in his work that he was fired soon after. After he was fired, Victoria's parents turned around and blamed me and scolded me instead. Her eldest brother was even more outrageous. He almost hit me, saying that the lousy place I found for him didn't even allow him to sleep properly and that I didn't take his matter seriously at all. At that time, I really wanted to marry Victoria, so I endured everything I could. As for now, I smiled and said to her eldest brother on the video call, "Brother-in-law, these 2 days, I saw a nice girl on a dating website. Her requirements aren't too high. How about you go on a blind date with her someday? Is that for real?" William appeared on the screen, his eyes as big as a calf's, full of what he thought was wisdom. "Of course it's real. We're almost family. Would I lie to you? You're a true friend. To be honest with you, brother-in-law, my parents originally planned to ask you for an exorbitant bride price just to use it for my marriage. Since you're so sensible, I'll discuss it with them. If the girl's requirements are low, we'll ask you for less." I readily agreed. As for the girl I mentioned on the dating website, she wasn't actually there for a blind date. In fact, she was a transgender person. I accidentally saw her while browsing a forum. And she was the dominant one. Although she has her own bottom line, I guess it won't be that easy for this William to win her over. But it doesn't matter. This time bomb will explode sooner or later. That night, the whole family moved in. As expected, they occupied all the bedrooms facing the sun, and I was arranged in the small bedroom next to the kitchen. I don't know if Victoria was overly happy or felt sorry for me because of my generosity. She changed into a sexy nightgown and started seducing me as soon as she entered the room. In the 3 years we've been together, I've never seen her dress so provocatively. But at the same time, her dissolute nature wasn't hidden because of her joy. She was simply a slut. Her eyes were even more lewd than those in an adult film. Instantly, I felt like there was a light on my head, a green light. At the same time, Victoria's lewd screams were still echoing in my mind. I almost kicked her out at that moment. I suppressed the anger in my heart and forced a loving smile. "Baby, don't seduce me like this. I'm afraid I really can't resist. You deserve all of this." Victoria threw herself into my arms. I felt her soft figure, clenched my teeth tightly, and looked at her like a fierce wolf. Victoria's body froze slightly, as if she was startled. Gritting my teeth, I smiled and helped her up. I said to her fiercely, "Baby, I've been saving myself for you for 3 years. Your parents and your eldest brother are all at home. I'm afraid if I unleash my full strength, I'll leave you covered in bruises, and they'll hear your screams. You wait for me. On our wedding day, I'll make sure you can't get out of bed the next day." This violent and explicit statement made Victoria's face turn red instantly. Her breathing became rapid, and the desire in her eyes grew stronger. It didn't seem like she was pretending. After a while, she left reluctantly. I turned around and saw that the bedsheet where Victoria had sat was wet. The next morning, Victoria went out. I guessed that she definitely wouldn't go to work today. Based on the recording time and my inference of her menstrual cycle, today was the day for sowing the seeds. Shortly after she left, I also went out under the pretext of going to work. I passed by a store and bought a large baseball cap and put it on my head. I had already placed a GPS with a recording function in Victoria's bag, and it was easy for me to find the place where they were having their secret meeting. It was a shabby little hotel. Judging from the exterior decoration, it was probably from the 1990s. I had secretly investigated Julian these past 2 days. He worked in a private enterprise with a monthly salary of 5,500 yuan. He had been in the job for 7 or 8 years, and it seemed that he might get a promotion recently. But it was just a possibility. To put it bluntly, he was a poor guy. I don't know if it was because he was well endowed and good in bed or because of the charm of being her first love that he had hooked this slutty Victoria so thoroughly. But the important thing was that Julian was already a married man. His wife was burly and had a habit of domestic violence. Everyone in their village knew that Julian was afraid of his wife and would scurry away with their tails between their legs when they saw her. These two were really a perfect match, 2 peas in a pod, both equally bad. As soon as Victoria went in, before they could even start their game, she showed off to her first love. Julian, Lucas not only bought me a BMW, but he also bought me a house of more than 150 square meters. What's the matter, Victoria? Judging by your expression now, are you complaining that I haven't given you anything? Julian, I didn't mean that. You didn't mean that? You just walked in and started telling me this. Isn't the meaning obvious enough? I just wanted to tell you about my recent changes. Why are you like this? Unexpectedly, this Julian guy was jealous. After a while, he continued. Sorry, Victoria. I'm not capable. I don't have money, but I love you so much. Others can give you things that I can't. I feel really heartbroken. Don't be like this. The two of them started getting sentimental. After a while, some indescribable sounds came out. Realizing that the opportunity had come, I immediately called my good friend Ethan. Upon hearing what I said, Ethan rushed over as fast as he could. When he reached the door of the guest room, he slapped it hard, and the door shook a few times. Open the door, everyone inside. It's a room inspection. Damn it. Julian was so scared that he shouted, and the inappropriately described sounds from before stopped abruptly. Instead, there were flustered footsteps and Julian's trembling exclamations. It's over, it's over. What should we do now? You hide quickly. Victoria was also very panicked. Where should I hide? There isn't even a curtain here. It's over. If my wife has to bail me out, she'll definitely beat me to death. Never mind. I'll jump out the window. This is the 3rd floor. I have to jump even if it's the 3rd floor. I had already expected that he would do this. When he climbed out of the window, there were already a lot of onlookers gathered below. The hotel owner was the first to shout at Julian angrily. Damn you, climb back in. If you fall to your death, how am I supposed to run my business? Hurry up and climb back in, or I'll call the police. Julian was standing there with his bare buttocks being stared at by so many people. He felt too embarrassed to continue, so he had to climb back in. When the door was finally opened, he had already put on his clothes and pretended to know nothing, asking Ethan, "Buddy, who are you looking for?" Ethan was big and burly. Standing in front of Julian, he was at least a head taller than him. At this moment, Ethan punched Julian. Julian covered his nose and squatted on the ground, and blood gushed out. Ethan didn't feel any sympathy at all. He started punching and kicking Julian, and kept scolding. Damn you for giving me a cuckold. I'll beat you to death. Victoria ran out and grabbed Ethan's arm. She had never seen Ethan before, so she immediately shouted. Stop! Did you hit the wrong person? I don't know you. Ethan was stunned for a moment. He looked at Victoria, then at Julian, who was lying on the ground with a bruised face, and smiled awkwardly. Damn it, I mistook him for someone else. This made Julian extremely angry. He stood up with a jerk. Are you crazy? Get out. Ethan left in a hurry and gave me a satisfied smile in my direction. Victoria asked in confusion. Why don't we call the police? We can get a lot of compensation if we go to the hospital and get a medical examination report. What the hell, call the police? If we call the police, won't all our business be exposed? Then, shall we continue? Victoria took Julian's arm. Julian said angrily, I don't have the mood anymore. Just make do with it. Then he walked away with his battered body. I looked at Victoria from a distance and sneered. I immediately sent today's recording to Julian's wife. That night, while Victoria was taking a shower, I peeked at her phone. Julian had sent her several selfies. Goodness, his face was as swollen as an eggplant, and the corner of his mouth was split open. He questioned Victoria if she was the one who told his wife about the affair. He said that he was almost beaten to death today and still didn't dare to go home. Victoria was also confused. Fortunately, I had already taken out the GPS when she got home, and from what Julian said, his wife didn't specifically mention the recording. So Victoria couldn't suspect me. Especially since I still showed so much love for her and cooked a sumptuous dinner for her whole family. After dinner, William sneaked up to me mysteriously. He said that he had met that person today, and she was really beautiful, and he wanted to marry her. I smiled and told him that he had to work hard on his own. Then William asked me a question. I don't mind working hard, but I don't know why she asked me if I have the habit of washing my butt and also asked me to get a medical examination report. Brother-in-law. Could it be that she wants to have something more with me? William showed a lewd and wise look in his eyes. I nodded firmly. Definitely. Go for the medical examination tomorrow and wash your butt properly by the way. Ha ha ha, okay then. Thanks, brother-in-law. After William left, Victoria tried every means to send her parents away. I knew what she was up to. After all, she had just deliberately brought me a glass of juice. The juice with birth control pills in it. I definitely wouldn't give in to her. I thought she was disgusting. I made an excuse of working overtime and slipped away directly. In the underground parking lot, I saw Victoria, who was still full of unfulfilled desires, come out all dressed up beautifully. She got into her beloved BMW and drove out of the community. I followed her all the way. These two were really strange. Although the place where they were having their date had changed, it still hadn't gotten rid of the decoration style from the 1990s. All the people coming out of there were young couples. When they saw Victoria, who was driving a BMW, get out of the car, their eyes were full of contempt and ridicule. After all, Victoria had a thick skin. She went straight in and booked a room. After a while, Julian appeared. He was acting like a thief, looking around furtively. His face was really a mess. It was scratched all over like a bloody gourd, and he was limping as he walked. When he saw that there was no one around, he quickly slipped in. I also called Ethan out. He asked me, "Why don't we just send the location to his wife and let his wife come over and teach him a lesson? That would be much more straightforward." "You're wrong. In this kind of situation, no one knows each other. If his wife comes and makes a scene, who's going to watch? It won't be interesting without an audience." I smiled meaningfully. I want to lift Victoria up to the sky and then smash her down hard. As for Julian, it's even easier to play tricks on him. Ethan and I went to Julian's car. The window of the co-pilot seat wasn't fully closed. I immediately threw a used condom that Victoria had put away through the gap and it landed right on the floor mat. Ethan showed an excited smile. "Damn, this move is really a bit sneaky." Ethan then threw in a miniature recording device and rubbed his hands in satisfaction. After we had done all this, I used a strange number to send a text message to Julian's wife. "Let it go. You can't even get him to come back home. What else can you use to compete with me?" Soon, a call came through. Julian's wife started swearing as soon as she opened her mouth. The words she used were really harsh. I didn't say a word. After listening for a while, I hung up the phone. Quickly, Julian ran downstairs with his pants half up, got into the car, and drove away. "Hello, wife. I'm working overtime at the company. If you don't believe me, I can make a video call to you. You son of a bitch. You have 5 minutes to get your ass back home. I can let go of the fact that you were fooling around with women. Okay, but wait, wife, you can't frame me like this. Wait for me to come home and explain it to you." Ethan and I almost burst out laughing when we listened to the recording from the car. Ethan asked me what we were going to do about Victoria. I thought for a while and then used that strange number to send a text message to Victoria's mother. "Congratulations. You've won a basket of eggs. Please call back immediately to confirm the address for collection. It will be void if overdue." Not long after the text message was sent, a call came back. I asked Ethan to answer the phone. He was smart and directly reported the address here. When Victoria's mother arrived, she saw her daughter's BMW. Her face turned pale immediately. Ethan greeted her with a few pounds of eggs in his hand. Victoria's mother didn't even look at the eggs. She went in and dragged Victoria out. It seemed that she also checked the hotel room records. She slapped Victoria on the spot. "Are you crazy, girl? Isn't having a good man like Lucas enough for you? You went and found a lover behind his back. If he finds out, you'll lose all your wealth and luxury. Mom, Julian and I are truly in love. With Lucas, I'm just after his money. Pfft, aren't you ashamed? Do you have any face left when you say these things? What's the difference between you and those loose women on the street?" Victoria's mother was furious. After a while, William also arrived. When he heard it was Julian, he didn't say a word and hailed a taxi and left. Ethan and I saw that there was going to be more drama, so we immediately got in the car and chased after him. At the same time, the scene with Julian was also being recorded. First, there were 2 loud slaps, and then Julian let out a howl. Julian's wife shouted at the top of her voice, "Julian, do you think you're too big for your britches? Not only did you go out and fool around with women, but you also didn't come home all night. Wife, you've misunderstood me. I don't even have 50 yuan on me. How could I stay out all night? I was really working overtime." "I don't believe you were working overtime." That provocative text message was sent to my phone. "Tell me who that vixen is. I'll skin her alive." "There's no such vixen." "Wait a minute. Turn on the dome light in the car for me." "Why do you want me to turn on the light?" "I told you to turn it on." After a while, "Damn you. You son of a bitch even had sex in the car. What's this? Tell me what the hell this is, you bastard." Wife, don't hit me. Listen to my explanation, There was a new round of beating. It probably lasted for more than 10 minutes. Julian kept moaning, and his wife was panting heavily. She must have been tired from beating him. "Wife, woo-woo. My boss drove my car when I was working overtime. Why didn't you ask clearly before hitting me?" After being married for so many years, Don't you know what kind of person I am? If you don't believe me, I'll call my boss right now. A blinding light flashed. William arrived. Our car was parked not far away. We rubbed our hands and watched excitedly. As soon as William got out of the taxi, he picked up a brick without saying a word. As soon as he saw Julian's car, he ran up and smashed the windshield with the brick. Julian's wife was stunned and immediately kicked William in the stomach. Although Victoria's eldest brother was strong, Julian's wife was even stronger than him. With that kick, William plopped down on the ground. The scene was really awkward. You son of a bitch, why are you smashing our windshield? This bastard Julian seduced my sister and had an affair with her, ruining my sister's marriage. William stood up boldly, but he didn't dare to go any closer. When Julian got out of the car, his face turned green. What are you talking about? You son of a bitch, Julian. You're still pretending to be confused. Even my sister has admitted it. What else do you have to say? Did you sleep with her? Julian was speechless and started to explain in a flurry. But then his wife punched him in the face. Now that someone has come to confront you, I want to see how you can still explain this. Divorce. We must get a divorce, and you're going to leave the house with nothing. After losing her temper, his wife left. She must have been completely disillusioned with Julian. Seeing that Julian had no one to rely on anymore, William rushed up and gave him a good beating. He stopped only when Julian knelt down and begged for mercy. Julian, a grown man, was actually beaten to tears by these two people. Even snot bubbles came out of his nose. Do you think the exciting show is over? No, this is just the beginning. I went back home. Victoria and her family of 3 were all there. They were acting as if nothing had happened, going about their own business. The only change was that they suddenly became very enthusiastic towards me. They were serving me tea and water, and showing concern for me. With this kind of acting skills, they were definitely no match for Victoria. It was way too obvious. As the saying goes, Victoria was an old hand. Seeing that her family members were being too abnormal, she quickly found an excuse to call me into the room. She held her hands together and said shyly to me, "Honey, when are you going to marry me? I've been waiting for your proposal for a long time. Baby, you're just like the roundworm in my body. I was actually planning to invite your colleagues and my colleagues this weekend and give you a grand proposal ceremony. I originally wanted it to be a surprise. Since you asked, you'd better be prepared." Victoria's eyes lit up. Really? Of course it's true. Just be careful with your little heart then. Yeah. Victoria was extremely excited and, without warning, was about to take off her clothes again. I was really curious. With such good acting skills, how could this slut not notice the loopholes in her behavior in this regard? I decisively left the room. When William saw me come out, he immediately pulled me into his room. "Brother-in-law, some things aren't really as you think." Me? Well, William almost confessed on his own. Fortunately, he held it back, otherwise how could I carry out my subsequent plans? Finally, we got to the topic of that transgender person. William excitedly took out a medical examination report for me. "See, brother-in-law? Everything is normal. I just sent a photo of myself to her. She asked me to meet her on the weekend and told me to clean myself up properly." He. I patted his shoulder meaningfully. "Then you have to prepare well." "Yes, she's so beautiful. It's just that her voice is a bit rough, and I'm not used to it." "You'll get used to it. Just get used to it." I held back my laughter and gave him some advice. The next day, Victoria answered a phone call and left again. Without even having to think, it must be that Julian. I followed her as usual and placed the recording device. This time, the two of them didn't choose a hotel. Instead, they went to a park. As soon as they met, Julian poured out his heart. "Victoria, my wife divorced me. Can you please not accept Lucas's proposal?" "What are you talking about?" Victoria shook off Julian's hand, looked around and said, "My parents and my brother all know about us. I'm taking a risk by meeting you today. And I came here just to tell you that it's over between us. Don't contact me again in the future." Julian was stunned. "Victoria, what do you mean? If it wasn't for you telling my wife about us, how could she have divorced me, and I even left the house with nothing? This morning, she caused a huge scene in my company. I've lost my job now, and I'm even having trouble affording food. And you're saying these things to me today? Don't slander me." Victoria's face fell completely. "The reason our affair was discovered is because you're poor. You couldn't even provide a proper, more secluded hotel. My mom saw my car when she went out to buy groceries. Is that my fault? And Julian, I've noticed that you like to shift the blame onto others whenever something goes wrong. You have no sense of responsibility at all. It's the right decision for me to break up with you now." Victoria was about to leave, but Julian grabbed her and slapped her. "Victoria, it's all because of you, you slut. You had a boyfriend but still seduced me. Otherwise, as a man with a family, how could I have gotten involved with you?" Victoria slapped him back. "Don't shout at me. My husband loves me very much. This is the end of our affair. Otherwise, I'll make you pay the price." "Humph, I never realized you were such a person, Victoria. Now you have two options. 1. Marry me. 2. Prepare 300,000 yuan as a breakup fee. Otherwise, I'll show the little videos I've been keeping to your beloved husband." "When did you pervert, take those videos?" Victoria's expression changed. Julian was smug. "You were so slutty that you were only focused on moaning in bed. How could you have noticed my videos? Victoria and Julian parted on bad terms. But I noticed that not long after Victoria got home, William came out. He was still as aggressive as he was the day before. I guessed that something might happen. Sure enough, as I expected, he found Julian again, gave him a good beating, and even snatched his phone. When he got home and proudly handed the phone to Victoria, I came in right after. Victoria quickly put the phone away. "Honey, why didn't you go to work today?" "Oh, I'm organizing some documents at home. It's quieter here." "Is that so? Then you go to the study first. I'll make you a cup of tea." Victoria went to the kitchen, and William gave me an awkward smile and went back to his bedroom. I quickly went to the sofa, took out the phone that had been stuffed there, and in the fastest possible time, exported several videos from it. Then I quickly ran into the study. I put the phone on silent mode. When I watched those videos, my scalp went numb. This is so damn slutty. It's an eyesore. Ethan had been keeping an eye on Julian for me. That guy is no easy target. I guess he's decided to just go all out. He's been trying to find out more about Victoria through various channels. Just looking at his face makes me want to punch him, and it still wouldn't be enough to vent my anger. So I packaged those videos and sent them to his ex-wife. No kidding, his ex-wife showed up with a pickaxe handle and almost beat Julian to death. If what happened before was just speculation, with these videos, there's no need for any imagination. She was beating him and cursing at the same time. "Damn you. We're already divorced, and you still want to disgust me. I'll beat you to death." Julian was sent to the emergency room that day. But he didn't get beaten for nothing. At least he got the videos back. When he walked out of the hospital on crutches, his eyes were filled with hatred and tears. "Victoria, you're so heartless. I never thought you had so many tricks up your sleeve. Just you wait." His anger was successfully shifted onto Victoria. Well, now that only Victoria has the videos, it's reasonable for him to suspect her. Julian, I'll give you a few days to recover from your injuries. Let's see how you perform on the weekend." To prepare a grand proposal for Victoria, I specially booked the most expensive hotel in the city. None of my colleagues from the company went. I invited all of Victoria's colleagues from her company and her friends. Next to a 5-layer cake, there were 999 roses. When Victoria entered the venue, flowers were flying, music was playing, and everyone applauded in unison. Victoria covered her mouth and was so excited that she shed tears. Even some of the girls present were all filled with envy and jealousy. Victoria's parents stood aside, clapping their hands with red eyes. Their daughter had found a good home, and they were extremely excited. Victoria walked over with elegant steps. When she stood in front of me, with tears in her eyes, waiting for me to kneel down and propose, the door of the venue was suddenly crashed open. It was Julian who crashed in, and he rolled on the ground several times after that. Behind him was his ex-wife, with a figure as big as an elephant. With one kick, she shattered the plaster cast on Julian's leg. His ex-wife pointed at the stage and shouted, "You slut! I've already divorced this bastard, and you still sent me a text message asking me to come here and watch. What the hell are you up to? And you son of a bitch!" Julian's ex-wife grabbed his ear and pulled him up, questioning him. "Didn't you tell me that a beautiful woman wanted you? Then why is there someone else standing opposite her?" Seeing these two people suddenly appear, Victoria and her parents were all panicked. Her mother reacted quickly and rushed down to try to stop them. But she was pushed away with a slap by Julian's ex-wife. This woman was like a killing machine. No one could stop her as she went forward. She went up to the stage and slapped Victoria right away. "You slut! Are you proud of being a mistress? You've provoked me again and again. Why are you so slutty, seducing other people's husbands? And do you know you've been cuckolded? I looked at Victoria in shock. Victoria hurriedly tried to explain to me. At this moment, Julian got up from the ground and shouted that he had evidence. Holding his phone, limping, and playing the unsightly videos, he walked forward. His eyes were filled with tears. Undeniably, this was his own moment of glory. The guests at the scene were in an uproar all of a sudden. I also shook off Victoria's hand. The anger that had been building up in me for days erupted in an instant, and I slapped her hard on the face. I don't usually hit women, but I don't regret this slap. Victoria, I loved you so much, and this is how you treated me. Honey, please listen to my explanation. Explanation, my ass. Let's break up. I resolutely turned around and walked off the stage. Looking at the disdainful looks on the faces of the people in the audience towards Victoria, I couldn't hold back my laughter when I reached the entrance of the venue. The stone that had been weighing on my heart shattered instantly. It felt so good, so satisfying. Julian, I'll never forgive you. Victoria, you slut. I should be the one saying these words to you. Victoria and Julian started fighting each other. The venue was in complete chaos. At the entrance of the hotel, I ran into William. This guy was limping as he walked. When he saw me, he almost burst into tears. Brother-in-law, what kind of person did you find for me? That guy is a man, and he stabbed me. Damn it. Don't call me brother-in-law anymore. It's over between me and Victoria. Brother-in-law, what do you mean? I ignored him and left directly. Later, I found out that William had joined the fight. Julian was already injured and had been severely beaten by Victoria. Then he was pushed around on the ground by her brother. When I got home in the evening, Victoria and her family of 3 all knelt down in front of me. They begged me desperately not to cancel the engagement. I looked at Victoria coldly. Victoria, I treated you with all my heart for 3 years, thinking you were a chaste and virtuous woman. But it turns out you showed off your sexual skills to others in bed? Honey, it's not like what you think. It was him, Julian, who seduced me. Is that so? According to what you said, if another woman seduces me, can I justifiably sleep with her? If you can forgive me that way, I agree. Pfft. These words once again shattered my understanding of right and wrong. Victoria, I can't accept your dissolute life. Let's end it here. Victoria chased me all the way outside the community. She kept begging me to forgive her. When she saw that I really wouldn't agree, she finally lost her temper. I admit that I did something wrong. I want to make it up to you now. If you don't agree, I won't return the house and the car to you. I smiled slightly and turned my head. It's okay. You don't have to return them. I gave them to you in the first place. Are you really going to break up with me? What a naive question. I was too lazy to answer her and turned around and left. However, when Victoria started repaying the loans, she finally realized something. Victoria's monthly salary was only 3,000 or 4,000 yuan, but the car loan and the mortgage together were at least 15,000 yuan per month, and she had to pay it back for 30 years. If she didn't pay, she would become a defaulter. In the beginning, she didn't contact me for a while. When the repayment date came, she anxiously found me. The scene of her kneeling down appeared again. She begged me to pay the loans for her, and she also said that this was what I had promised her before. I looked at her like I was looking at a fool. Victoria, can you really rely on words? Don't forget what you said about your feelings when we first started dating. Did you keep your word? You gave me a green hat for 3 years. But I'm not angry anymore now, because I've directly arranged 30 years of trouble for you. Hee hee. Victoria looked at me with wide eyes. What do you mean by what you just said? Victoria, the act you put on deceived me. How about the act I put on? After this meeting, I blocked all of Victoria's contact information. This person even wanted to sue me, but in the end, she had no evidence at all. Later, I heard that Victoria had sold both the car and the house, suffering a loss of 500,000 yuan. Given that none of her family members were willing to work, they would probably have to pay off the debts for decades. As for her brother William, he was sent to prison. After I broke up with Victoria, he directed all his anger towards Julian. When Julian was receiving treatment in the hospital, he went in and attacked with a knife, and Julian died on the spot. I saw Victoria again several years later. I was driving a Mercedes to meet a client at a club. A row of hostesses came in, and the first one was her. After not seeing her for a few years, she looked much worse in complexion and had to rely on heavy makeup. She didn't dare to look me in the eyes for a long time, but I dared to look at her. You go out, and the others stay. After having a wild night, Victoria was fired. It's not for any other reason. I don't want to see this person again in places where I often appear. She brought this upon herself and is now suffering the consequences. Bye.